Hey everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Totally Social. Here with your host, Lorna the Smiling Baby, as always. And I am so happy to have you guys back on another segment. I have been away for quite a long time and I took a break from the channel because starting this channel I had a purpose behind it all, and it was to talk to people, to discuss topics that I felt like were not given so much attention. The channel has finally made 1 year, and I'm so happy for you guys for giving me your support. Even when I was away, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for watching the videos. I see the reports that YouTube sends me, and I know that you guys are out there and you're so supportive of me. Otherwise, for this segment, I want to take you down a path that I believe most of you would have wanted someone to come out and talk about when you were teenagers. So these are 7 things I wish someone told me before I entered adulthood. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed it writing it down and thinking about all the things that I felt like teenagers going to adulthood had to know about.
Welcome to Totally Social with Lorna.
I wish someone told me back then that our bodies are not the same. That is something that we have not acknowledged, and I think most of you have had a song out there where they're talking about the Victoria's Secrets. I quite enjoy that song. I dance to it like literally almost every day. Reason being, it has put out a picture of, oh, we thought to have the perfect body you had to look a certain way, because we have to agree that the world has set a standard for everyone concerning beauty, or you have to have the perfect jawline, you have to have the perfect body shapes. And my friends go and get the braces because obviously people are not appreciative of how their teeth were aligned. So as you enter into adulthood, you have to know that the bodies of everyone are not the same. You don't expect your body to look like Lena's, or to look like Kim Kardashian, or to look like Beyonce. That is why you see there is a lot of body shaming, because people want everyone to look a certain way. But the difference is we are unique in our own ways. What makes us different is the fact that everyone is special in their own way. I look like this because probably when they were thinking about making Lorna had to look a certain way. So I cannot go around and I'd be like, oh, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. I've had people come up to me and they're like, oh, have you got for plastic surgery? And I'm like, I'm 22, how can I get plastic surgery? But it's something that is out there, and when you do not get that in your mind that our bodies are not the same, and then you enter into adulthood, it is like literally something that you're going to struggle with 10, 20 years down the road. You're still struggling to make sure that everyone approves of who you are, or you get in line with what everyone approves as the right body shape or the beauty standards. The second thing is, do not make permanent decisions on temporary situations. Let us put this into perspective. You have seen your friends going out of school, and then you're like, oh, let me also go out of school. You go out to party because you feel like, oh, at that time, the party is like literally the life. That is the cool thing to do. And then you end up seeing that people drop out of school at one point. They don't finish up studies, and then probably your parents sit you down and they're like, you should go back to school. And then the kids are like, nah, that is done. We live in a changing society. Today, it might be okay not to go to school. Tomorrow, no. Yes, at 15, it might be okay. You don't have responsibilities. At 25, you have a family to cater for, or you want to help out with your parents' bills, and then you end up realizing that you cannot get a job because the qualifications that are there do not allow you to get into that place. So make sure that that decision you've made, you've looked at 30 years down the road. What is it going to show? Is it going to be the same way? Is it going to be different? Is it going to impact you more than you intended to? So before you make those decisions, sit down and think about the next years. Then the third thing that I thought about, your parents are not your enemies. And if you notice how I am putting my subtopics, you realize that I am trying to make them as positive as possible, because this is not a negative place. We are not promoting negativity here. We are promoting a positive outlook of everything. So your parents are not your enemies. Why? When they tell you something, you should read your books, you should not hang out with those people because they do this and that is not right for you. Sometimes you feel like, oh, if my parent tells me, oh, don't hang out with that person, they don't want me to have fun, they don't want me to have friends. But then as you get older, you realize that you want to create that friendship with your parents. You want that relationship to exist with your parents. And me growing up in a society where it does not promote relationships with parents, where people tell you, oh, the parent is a different person, and then you as a child, you're a different person. I feel like right now, as I have grown up into an adult, I have realized that my parents mean so much to me, being close to me. Like, I can run to my parents and tell them than tell it to a friend, because a friend can betray you. But your parents are not against you, they are for you. That is one thing I have realized. I have clashed with my mom a lot of times because I grew up most in the presence of my mom. And it felt like at one point she was restricting me, like, don't go out at this time. And then I'm like, oh, all the cool girls go out at this time. So it was like that clash kept coming in a lot of times. But as I have grown up, I have realized different. Then the fourth subtopic is love yourself. I have talked about self-love in another segment probably. And this channel is all about from individual to other people. In order for people to know how to treat you, you have to love yourself. Give an example of what loving you looks like. You have to realize that how you feel about yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself, that you have built with yourself, is so important before you step out in the world. Because when people look at you and how you treat yourself, how you handle yourself, the attitude that you have towards yourself, how you look at yourself, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you love the person that you see? That is something that I feel like has not been given so much attention, and I have talked about it all over again. And I feel like this period that I have been away, I have got an opportunity to love me. It has given me an opportunity to know who Luna is. Like, if a person starts describing me, I'm like, no, that's not me. That is not how I look like. It is not pride. It is knowing who you are before people tell you who you are, actually. For the fifth topic, I wanted to talk about not losing who you are. A lot of times we want to be accepted in society by our friends, by the people around us, by family, and then you have to go into this process of changing yourself, building these fortresses around yourself so that you can put out this picture. The fortress is like literally showing people a different perspective of you, who you are. You want to be this person who people fear, but then you're a soft person inside, and you're sweet, but then you cannot let people know that you're sweet. They're going to think you're weak. But you have to realize that you don't have to fit into society to be who you are. You do not have to be ordinary like everyone. You can choose to be extraordinary. That's one thing I have learned, not to follow everyone else. Me, if it means walking alone, but I know I am on the right path, trust me, I am doing that. Not lose yourself due to peer pressure. I am not a person who smokes, and I don't want to smoke. So if I have friends who smoke, usually I'm like, do your thing, please don't just feel like I need to do what you're doing. So a lot of people feel that pressure of, oh, my friends are smoking, let me smoke. Oh, my friends are drinking, let me drink. I don't have to do this to be like everyone else. That's one thing I wanted to, for a person out there who didn't even get an opportunity to listen to this, to know. Then the sixth part was, no one is perfect. A lot of times when we get out into society, and people see that you're an adult, or they expect children not to play. My mom used to tell me, you're going to campus. You cannot move out of the house wearing sandals. Please, I am trying. I'm a work in progress. I know, yes, I'm supposed to wear shoes, but if the shoes are not there at that time, and I wear the sandals, like, that imperfection does not have to define me. If I move out with wrinkled clothes, don't define me because you saw my wrinkled clothes. No one is perfect. If you want me to carry that perfection, I read somewhere on Twitter, and in fact, it was John Cena. He was like, perfection limits growth. When you're so perfect, you're kept in this cage of having to prove that you're ever righteous, and then you do not have this space to grow out. Because as we grow into big people, obviously, you realize that there are things that have to change about us. We learn new things and unlearn things. So no one is perfect. If you hold something against someone, then you're going to limit them in how they grow, how they learn things, because they are trying to be this perfect person. And there is already a standard that has been set for perfect people, where they outline everything that the perfect person has to do. One thing you have to know is people fail, people raise up, people become stronger from their failures. If you cannot appreciate the fact that you have failed, and you feel like, oh, I need to be a certain way to be appreciated. No one is perfect. Even the elders that you see and you look at and you admire, they're not perfect. Then the last thing is, enjoy your juvenile years. You are only young once, so you have to enjoy everything. Relax, don't be hard on yourself. You deserve everything that is going to happen to you at that time. There are people that you see doing things that you would have done as a teenager, and then you're like, why is this person doing like that? Why are they behaving like this? Let me tell you one thing: time is catching up with them, because growth is something that you do not escape from. As you're growing into an adult, every stage matters. It is a process. You do not skip parts. Everything comes with time. So if this is your time to enjoy the juvenile years, teenagers, please make the best of it. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be an adult before you are an adult. Enjoy the time, because the judgments of the world are so harsh on a person who is an adult. They expect you to wake up in the morning, get a job, get out of your parents' house, sharing the bills and expenses at home. And there is a lot of pressure that comes with everything concerning adulthood. And I know there are people out there who feel like, oh, the things that they have read out there, they're not things that I got an opportunity to do while I was still a teenager. Well, I am here for all ages. That is why my channel is not discriminative of who watches it. Everyone is welcome. There is what they call redemption, redeeming time. So you can redeem time. This is your time. This information is out here not because it is going to grow stale tomorrow. The information I put out is something that even years later, you're going to realize that you can come back and listen to this. Otherwise, this show is already supported by Aurturo Films. I got a time to be mentored in March, and I was so happy for that opportunity. It has given me a lot of perspective on how I should run the channel, the things that I should change. And they also do videography and photography, and you can reach out to them in their on their contacts that are going to be below in the description, and then there will be an overlay down there. You guys, I am so happy to have you back, and I am so excited for what we are going to be able to do with you guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment for me, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you.